Okay, good morning. Time to do turn 9. Thank you for tuning in. I have the orders transcribed because the camera actually has my Discord instance, as does my computer, but not my tablet. Okay, so for the red side, we're going to join the hero to the heavy foot. They're going to advance all their units full, including their cannon, and they're going to take any shots that present themselves. On the blue side, those eastern skirmishers across the river are going to stand fast and fire at will. Everything else is moving, potentially, so the only one that's going to have pass-through fire is that unit, and it's going to be shooting at the heavy foot, I've already decided, because the arquebuses are all out of range. So let me go handle the half move and the pass-through fire very quickly. Okay, so I have moved the heavy foot up 4.5 inches. Also moved up the arquebuses that are remaining for the red side up 6 inches. So we're now at the midpoint of the move. I've measured every block in the eastern skirmishers for the blue team do have a shot at the heavy foot. We're going to consider them half armored. That's a block of 12 in that unit. As you can see here, that means that no matter what I roll, it's going to be 2 or 2. So 2 casualties from the front rank are imposed, 2 casualties from the back rank are imposed. That's 4 casualties. That's the first shot because they've been stationary. They will get another shot imposing another 4 casualties unless something dramatic changes here in a few minutes. Because there are no more shots on the pass-through fire segment, I'm going to go ahead and complete the movement for blue, which is to move everything. Well, blue is more complicated, but for red, I'm going to move everything now to the full extent of the movement range. And then I'll do the same thing for the blue side. Just a moment. So here's what it looks like after the red move. Cannons advanced, armored foot advanced. The heavy horse had to do a facing move, which they normally takes a half a move, but because their horse did a quarter move, which takes off 3 of their 12 movement, leaving them 9 left, so they've advanced 9. And then, like I said, the heavy foot and arquebus moved. These arquebus in front, they moved 12 as well, so they're going to be shooting, depending on what happens here with the skirmishers in the west, pretty close range. This should be a fairly deadly round. Let's move everybody else into firing position now. All right, going down the list, I will walk through their movement, and since there will be no melee, I'm going to go ahead and do the fatigue markers now for everybody, simply because it won't matter later. Just give me a second. This will ensure that I've made all the movements correctly. Okay. So the eastern skirmishers over here stood fast, so their fatigue gets removed. They're back at 0. The arquebuses advanced on their oblique that they were angled here to the south-southwest. They get fatigue. The heavy foot, armored foot, and 2 cannons moved forward as well. The center skirmishers moved half a move. The farm skirmishers moved. These heavy crossbowmen moved and will reload. These heavy horse advanced their full move of 12, and these other heavy horse wheeled and then moved forward as far as they could. The intent is to catch up and be behind those guys. So fatigue, fatigue, 1 fatigue, 1 fatigue, 2 fatigue, 3 for this entire block, 1, 1, 1, 0. Moving over to the other side. The enemy hero, I'm sorry, the red hero now has 8 fatigue markers. The heavy foot that he's with have 2. These heavy horse changed, they did facing, like I said, facing and then moved, so they incur fatigue. I might have to rethink this because some of these only did half move. Hang on a second. So these guys did a full move, right? Yes. These guys, these arquebuses, did a full move. The horse I just put the marker on. These armored foot did a move, so they get 1. These cannon did a move, so they get 1. So I think I got it right on this side because they did full moves. But I need to go back and take a look at blue here. So 1 for each of the cannons, 1 for the heavy foot, or I'm sorry, 1 for the armored foot, 2 for the horse because they were moving that way and now they're moving this way, 2 for the heavy foot, 8 for the hero, 1 for the arquebuses. And now flipping to the other side. Let's see. These guys moved to full move. These guys moved to full move. These skirmishers did a half move, so they are only at 1. These guys all did at least half, so more than half, so they're still the ones that I said. The center skirmishers did a half move, so they're actually still at 0. And the heavy crossbow moved 4 south and are reloading, so they did less than half because they can move. Looking for a half move. And then these arquebuses, again, were half move. Okay, so let's recap this. 0 for the arquebuses here, 0 for the heavy crossbowmen, 0 for the center skirmishers, 1 for those skirmishers, 1, 1, 3 across the board, 0. Okay, done with fatigue. Let me stop the video there because I'm paranoid about the video. So we're going to do this as methodically as possible. There is no artillery fire because both sets of cannons moved. Let's handle the eastern skirmishers for blue. We know they're going to impose 4 more casualties on those heavy foot. That will not be enough to trigger instability due to excess casualties. Just look at the size of the unit. You can tell that per our convention, we're going to take these from the rear. So those are off the board now, a grand total of 8, leaving them with 42 still on the board. Yeah, that's only 16% casualties. Okay, moving on. So these arquebuses are firing now at the heavy foot. I'm going to say that these 2, they're going to leave to they're just going to leave off because they have not got much military significance. This block of troops is the most significant. So these arquebuses in the front rank are going to be firing 14, somewhere between 14 and 10.5. So now this is a new one on me. We've got to go to the arquebus table. I don't want to do these 1 block at a time. That will be very tedious. So 12 to 18, take a 5 to 6 to hit. So let's see what the middle of the unit does. Middle of the unit, move out of the way temporarily here. Middle of the unit, so right here to the middle of their unit, right here is 13 for the front rank. So I'm going to be rolling on the 5 to 6 column for the front rank. And for the rear rank, it's going to be 1.5 further. So do all of the rear rank at least have a shot. 15 from here, 12 from here. So between 12 and 15, yes, they are going to have a shot. So all of these will be shooting on the range to target 12 to 18 block. There are 3, 6, 7, 8, there are 16 fireworks. So I need 16 dice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16, looking for 5s or 6s to hit. This, I'll try to roll it where it can be seen and without rolling off the table. Okay, not a great set of rolls here for you guys, but still enough to do some damage. So all of this stuff does not matter. 2, 4, 6 casualties is what it looks like to me. Yes, 6 casualties. So that will take them to 6 casualties plus 8 casualties is 14 casualties out of 50. That's 28%. Will that cause instability due to excess casualties? I don't think so. 28%. Heavy foot is 33, so not enough to do instability due to excess casualties. So 2, 4, 6 more. Very close to causing instability though. Now technically, all these casualties during the missile phase, during the missile segment rather, are simultaneous. So because there was no fire coming back from there, I did not think that that mattered. Where are we at here on the camera? Are we recording? Yes, okay, good. Moving on down the line. So we fired these guys, we fired these guys. These guys are reloading, so they don't get a shot. They are now reloaded for next turn. The 2 arquebuses here in the front are going to take their shot. The heavy crossbowmen, the range on this is 2. That puts them in 2 to 6. So as long as I don't get a 1, that's casualties. 2 casualties to the enemy heavy crossbowmen. That is not enough to cause instability due to excess casualties. I hate the blocks sometimes. They're a little more fiddly. Than regular miniatures. Okay. But it does let us get scale very cheaply. So that firing is done. Now the interesting question is these center skirmishers. The orders for those guys was to center skirmishers, prioritize Arquebus. They're not 3, well, some of them are 3 inches away, but I don't think they're in the arc of fire here. So I'm going to say no shot at those 2 arquebuses. Do they have a, well, they might have a shot at those arquebuses. Let's take a look. Let's take a quick look here. Probably the easiest way to tell is flip it the correct direction. How many ways can I flip this without getting it right? There aren't that many of them that can fire at the arquebuses. As you can see at the end of the movement segment, where everybody landed, really not a lot of shots here. So unless there's anything else, they're going to have very few shots over there at the arquebus. Let's see if anything else is in range for their 24-inch range for the composite bows. I don't think so. I think they might just get some very low impact shots here. Let's see. 24. Putting the 24 out there. Maybe the heavy horse are in range. I don't know that they are. Huh? Heavy horse are in range, and they're a much juicier target, and more of these are going to be in range for that. It's barely in range, so I'm only going to allow the firing from the lines that are, the blocks that are directly in front. So there are going to be 6 firers on this side firing at long range against fully armored. So 6 firers against fully armored this time. They're going to do 0 or 1 casualty. I rolled a 2. That is considered 0 casualties. Their fire is ineffective, and I guess I could give them 1 shot over here at the arquebuses. Yeah. I'm going to give them 2 shots at the arquebuses because, well, no, that guy is lined up over here. I'm going to give them 1 shot at the arquebuses. 1 shot against, I said, unarmored this time. It's going to be 1 to 2 gives me a 0, 3 to 6 gives me a 1. I rolled a 1, so that's no effect for any of their fire. So they fired. They couldn't fire. They fired. All that fire is done. What's left? These arquebuses and these missileers here. And this will be a simultaneous exchange. So I'm not going to remove any pieces here until this is done. Everybody here has a shot. There are 3, 6, 9 of them left. And I said I'm going to treat these as unarmored this round to make up for my goof up last time. That takes us to this row. So ones and twos, a 1 or a 2 gives me 4 casualties. A 3 to 6 gives me 5 casualties. 3 to 6. So there's going to be 5 casualties on these arquebuses. So I'm going to just change this to 5 and move it over here just to keep track. So there are going to be 5 casualties in a moment. But first we need to see how many they do. Their front rank is 4, and that means their back rank is 5.5. That's going to put us on the 0-6 column for everything. Everything here is within the arc of fire. I'm going to give them the full shooting match here. 3, 6, 9 times 2, 18 of them. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Had to really dip in here. 18 shots at close range. Only ones are misses. Only ones are misses. I don't think I have any. Oh, there's a miss. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. How did I goof this up? I rolled too many dice. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I'm going to re-roll. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. All right, re-rolling. Ones or misses. I think you can see what's going to happen here, but 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a much better roll for blue's sake, but I still think this unit's eliminated. So there's 5. There's 10. Yeah, 11, 12. This entire skirmisher unit disappears in a puff of smoke, which is pretty amazing. But they did do 5 casualties going out like bosses. Let me pause the camera here while I remove this stuff. Okay, so arquebuses are considered light troops. They're down to 13 of 18 because of those 5 casualties that they lost. That takes them to 72%, which means that they need to make a roll of 8 or better to remain. Let me make sure what the range is to their army hero, army commander, if possible. I'll measure it from 2 places again just to make sure that we're not shorting anybody here. So no possibility that hero could do it. And again, no possibility this hero could influence. So this is an 8 or better roll for this unit to remain on the board. A very effective unit. Pray that I roll high for you. Great. An 11. This unit will remain on the battlefield. Okay, and like I said, I've already applied the fatigue. So this is what the final position looks like. That unit was completely eliminated. They're lying dead in that farm field now. We're getting very close to being able to test the melee portion, which is what we really wanted to do. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next turn. It's getting exciting. Thank you for being aggressive, and tune in next time.